Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at bluechew.com. Chew it and do it.
Nice. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo, Talkoma, Talkoma. Use it at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. And that's bluechew.com, promo code Talkoma. You get your first month free. Go to bluechew.com for details, safety information. And thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring our podcast.
Thanks, Blue Chew. Happy sex, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Talkoma FD.
Talkoma FD.
Look at that.
That's good.
Here we are, Talkoma
Coming out of
FD.
that that music.
Yeah.
Nice.
Episode 408.
Chicken fight.
Chicken fight.
Right. It was called Summer Barbecue for a long time, but then, we thought chicken fight's cuter.
Yeah, we like chicken fight.
Guess who directed this episode?
It's me again.
This is why I'm wearing the
Look at that.
shirt, right? Look at that.
And
That's a good-looking thing.
that is. It's a little jowly.
So I was talking about jolly. Look at me.
A little jowly.
It is, but that's okay. I mean, this is Steve Lemme, mid to late season. Right?
Okay.
Like when he gets a little weight. Like, first episodes of the season, you're lean and mean and trim.
Right.
But then by mid to late.
You think that's because I'm eating craft service or
It's a little. It's like you less
Lack of-
opportunity to exercise.
lack of exercise?
Right? Less, more busy. So anyway, I'm wearing this shirt in honor of your directorial.
All right, thank you.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
well,
you went and did it.
I was coming back from the vid.
But that's the interesting thing is that between 407 and 408, 407 you directed,
Yeah.
you got hit with the COVID.
Yeah.
And that's a significant moment on this TV set because, we're on a shoestring budget. You're the star of the show. You're directing the episodes.
Right.
And we got to figure out what the fuck to do because you're out of commission for 10 days.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember when I heard you got it, but how did you get COVID anyway? Did you got it at a bar or something like that?
Yeah, well, it was there's some speculation about it.
Sure, as always.
Because I also had a 4th of July party.
Yeah, but
And people get,
but you had COVID the next day from the 4th of July party.
I did. I got
so it was as if you had gotten it prior to that party.
According to the medical professionals that we spoke to, they said you probably actually got it a few days before that.
Correct.
Because it wouldn't just pop up the next day.
Next day, right.
And there was a case. I had gone to a restaurant and somebody had been in my face.
Oh boy.
Like
in a fight?
No, but I hate to say it, but a fan.
Okay. Why do you hate to say that?
Well, it's douchey.
Okay.
I got recognized and
a person that appreciates your work.
Oh, that's a very nice way of saying it.
Came up to you to tell you how much they appreciate their work.
But then it was one of those cases where that person keeps reappearing in your life, and then they want to do a shot, and then my
You
wife.
think that person had COVID?
And then my wife and I were dancing, and then it was a woman, and then she came and wanted to cut in. It was
Cut into you and your wife dancing?
Yeah, and she. Listen, I don't know if you're learning this, if you've been paying attention to all these past episodes, but I'm a highly sought after male figure.
I guess so. I think it's when you have the mustache, though, right? When you don't have the mustache.
No, yeah, then nobody. Yeah. Nobody wants
When I have
me.
the mustache.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar. Boop, boop. Pedro?
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal. Pablo Escobar.
Terry McConkey.
Yeah.
Okay, so this woman gave you COVID.
I believe. I believe. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay, so anyway, I remember because we're driving to a scout where we were going to shoot this episode, the house.
Right.
And I get the phone call. Lemmy's got COVID.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. He's directing this episode. We're locking down that location for a specific date.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things that go into it. And you're, boom.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Right.
And so we had to shuffle the schedule around.
Well, because this is a situation, too, where it's not like if a crew member
right.
or if a guest actor.
It's not like you can be replaced.
Yeah, it's like I'm one of the lead characters.
Right, and the director.
And the director.
And so we had to shuffle some things around. I had to direct one of my episodes. We shuffled episodes. Right, because then I directed 10 and you directed 12, which was going to be the other way around, but we had to adjust on the fly. And then, we had to bump up LP, our good friend LP. We had to bump up one of her episodes. And then we had to figure out stuff to shoot, which is funny because one of the scenes in this episode
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out everything we could shoot without you.
Right.
And one of them was the this vacuum cleaner,
The cold open. Yeah.
And I said, I'll take it, guys.
I'll
take the helm.
You know what? That's what partnership is all about.
That's right.
You pick your partner up when your partner is down.
That's right. And so I stepped up and I directed that vacuum cleaner scene, guys.
And I have to tell you, that is not an easy thing to do because, like, when you're a director, you prepare.
Yeah.
And you prepare for a long time in advance to figure out the shots, and especially in a scene like this, because this scene, it requires some mental...
Yeah, because it's like you're hiding stuff from one of the characters, and you're playing this prank.
Well, it's based on a real firefighter prank that we
I was going to ask you, like, where did that come from, this vacuum cleaner thing? I can't remember where that came from.
I don't know what... it's been so long, I don't remember if it was... it definitely came from a firefighter. They said we used to play a prank.
Okay.
Where we had a large speaker... And you had to kind of choreograph it, but like you'd get the probie to vacuum something.
Right. And you're playing the sound of the vacuum cleaner, but the vacuum cleaner's not actually on.
Yeah, and the vacuum cleaner's unplugged.
Right, okay.
And then at the end, you get them, you plug it in when they're like,
looking down the thing, and then
you
they
get
sucked in the face.
But that's still a hard thing to convey with, like, there's people all over, and you have to somehow show that this vacuum cleaner isn't sucking things up.
Right.
And you have to show that somebody's, that the vacuum cleaner's unplugged, and you've got to show that somebody's switching the vacuum cleaner on and off.
Right.
There's just a lot of parts to it.
Yeah.
And you stepped in, and I think you did a great job.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm a professional.
You are a professional.
I know the cast.
Yeah.
I know the crew.
You know your way around that world.
Luckily, I wasn't acting in that scene.
True.
And, the funny thing about this is that, 80% of this episode is at that barbecue.
Yeah.
And so there were maybe only 2 scenes, I think, that were in the station.
Right.
And we were able to move them around before we went out into that world. But we had to wait for you to get COVID over. You had to finish your COVID.
Right.
And then you came back, and we pushed this day back, or 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. I can't remember how many days we were at that place.
We were there for 3 days.
3 days. And then you came back from COVID and went right into that.
Yeah.
And that's probably hard because you were, coming off an illness.
I did get
and directing that circus. I mean, it's different when you go on location. I mean, it's like we're on location. It's a parlor comedy in 100-degree heat, and there a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So this was like, honestly, I will say this was my least favorite episode to ever direct.
Really? Okay. Well, it came out so great.
Well, but it was.
Why am I sucking your dick so hard?
Why are you sucking my dick
I don't
so
understand.
hard? Can
Maybe
you
I should
soften?
stop.
Can you soften up the dick sucking?
Jesus. Okay. All right. Sorry.
But it's like like you said, it's a parlor comedy, meaning we have our character Mickleberry is going from station to station, running around, and so you have to choreograph. This might be boring to some people, but it's a puzzle, and you have
to figure out where all the characters are at this.
But here's the problem,
and you've got fucking COVID head.
But also, and in this particular case, it's so wide. There's so many wide things, and there's so many things happening that there was no way. Like we skipped lunch, I think, pretty much every day. We were doing something called French hours.
Yeah.
Just shooting straight through, and the last night
because you were tied to daylight. When the sun goes down, you're done. Yeah,
but then we also had to shoot night stuff at the end, the pool, and Terry passed out.
Sure. We did that last,
and that was like a 16-hour day or something like
Woo!
That. It's hard work.
Hemorrhaging money.
It is hard work. It is hard work. But
boo fucking who,
boo.
Right, everybody?
Well, here was the nice thing, is that actually I was directing in a bathing suit.
Yeah,
and flip-flops.
The shirt or whatever the fuck.
Well, this, I couldn't find. I looked for the shirt that I wore in the episode today.
Yeah,
I couldn't find it, and I actually was. I was surprised because I take.
That's not it.
This is not it.
Okay.
I take all the wardrobe.
Sure, I know you do.
Especially like
free junk.
Free junk. That's all they give me. Free junk.
Free junk.
Free junk. There's a movie reference from the '80s. Fletch, everybody. But yeah, so I got to direct in a bathing suit and flip flops.
That's not bad.
Which was the nice part.
That's not bad. That's nice walking around in flip flops and shit like that.
That was the good part.
But I think this is an idea that we had been sitting on for a long time. I want to credit Tiffany Spring also as the writer, which is it's a hard thing because this is a very personal story to me and you.
Yeah.
And she did a fantastic job putting it all together. But this is based on kind of, every year I like to have barbecues at my house. I like to have a little pool party, usually a Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
And it comes from the fact that my families do the same thing, where we'd have a big barbecue at my family's house, and I do that now every year. And the Tacoma people come, and everyone comes and.
But this is like, you know, it's. I remember going to July 4th barbecues at your house. I'm sure you did.
My parents' house.
At your parents' house.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But this was my introduction really to your parents. We're talking about like, you know, when we're like maybe teenagers or in our early 20s.
We were in college. Yeah.
And met your dad, the judge.
Yep.
Big Mike Heffernan.
Yep. He manned the grill.
He manned the grill. Was very protective of the grill.
Very aggressively manned the grill. That was his domain.
Yeah. And specifically his chicken.
That's right. So this chicken subplot is based on basically my dad.
It's your dad.
Who had Mike's Famous Chicken, and he would cook that chicken every summer, every barbecue. And
this is a very delicate thing.
It's a very delicate thing. But I don't know if he'll ever watch this. But he people were so, critical of it.
Well, it was cooked through.
He liked to cook it for a long time, and he would get these gigantic fat breasts. Like, it wasn't like legs and thighs. He'd get these gigantic fat breasts, put them on the grill, and cook them for hours. And a lot of times they ended up drying out a little bit. But they get a little dry.
But he tended to be very assertive.
He was
about his chicken. When you walked in, he was
braggy about it, and he was pushy about it.
He was pushy. He would say, "You ready to have the world's greatest chicken?"
Are you hungry?
Starving.
World's famous chicken's almost up. You like world famous chicken? World's famous chicken, baby! All right.
And be like, "Yeah, I am." And the first one, you're like, "Oh yeah, I am." And he's like, "Cause I make the world's greatest chicken." Like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this chicken."
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "You're gonna take this chicken home. You want to take it home. You want to have as many pieces as you possibly can."
Yeah. Hey, Lucy, get some more chicken.
Yeah. Have another piece, Luce.
Hey, Mickleberry, come on, get a couple more pieces on there. What are you talking about? Get the garlic bread off your plate. Put another piece of chicken on there.
And then like it's so like okay, so in Hollywood, like in TV commercials, there's something called a bite and smile.
Right.
So there's
give me the bite and smile.
And there's two bite and smiles.
Yeah.
One bite and smile is.
This is if you're acting in commercials.
If you're acting in commercials, like when you see like a hamburger commercial or like for tater tots, whatever it is, it's always the same. There's two types of bite and smiles. One is I've never had this before. Will I like it?
Right.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I do like it.
Yeah, and that's like this. Like,
give me it. Okay, that's the I never had it before.
Where you didn't know. Okay. This is the one where you have had it before and you're looking forward to taking that bite.
You know how good it's going to be.
And it's as good, if not better, than you remember. And that's
the bite and smile too.
Okay. There's a third bite and smile that came at the Heffernan barbecue, which is, I don't know what this is. I've been promised something good, and it's fucking dry.
Right. Or I know this is dry, but I'm going to put on a good face.
Okay, so that's two more bite and smiles. So here's
because you couldn't shit on my dad. I mean, you had to be like, this is fucking great.
Right. So here's bite and smile. You haven't had this chicken before. You've heard it's great, and it's fucking dry. Like. Okay, and then here's the next year you're there.
Thanks, Judge.
This is bite and smile where you know it's gonna suck, and you still have to put on the face. Mm-hmm. Okay, there we've got it covered.
Right. So, but that was what would happen, Matt. You'd come over, he would push the chicken, you would eat the chicken, you would have to compliment the chicken, even though you didn't particularly care for the chicken.
And then he would also make you have seconds on the chicken.
Yeah. He would keep pushing it. He's like,
one
more? You want another one?
Yeah.
One more?
You're gonna have another one.
Yeah.
I know you want another one.
I know how to make you feel better, buddy. Huh? One more piece of chicken for you. Just put it on the old big pile there, my friend.
And that was what the traditional barbecue at my house was.
Right.
And so.
But you couldn't even like with your best friends, you can rag on them about something like that. But like, it was your dad, and you knew how much he cared about his chicken.
Oh, yeah.
And it would hurt him.
It would hurt him if you told him that. And so you could rag amongst each other.
Right.
But you couldn't. So we put that on top of the episode in the sense that that's Terry's. MO.
Right.
And that you guys all know the chicken sucks, and you're going to do whatever you can to try to change that.
Why don't you just tell him the truth about the chicken instead of leading him on?
Goodness gracious, where's your heart, man?
Yeah. Why don't we give him a paper cut across the face and imprison his firstborn child?
You haven't seen Terry in action at the grill. The preening, the cocksuredness, the sense of fulfillment. If we were to tell him that his chicken was drier than a camel's crotch in a sandstorm, it would devastate him. So, we endure the chicken and we compliment him, and so will you.
Now, I will say in real life, the torch has been passed on to Kevin
so
Heffernan.
now I have that situation. This is a view of me at my party. Those are my wings, right? I'm famous for my wings, which is our little pieces of chicken.
There's his wife. Now, these are delicious wings.
Yeah.
And Kevin also does great burgers, although this year the burgers were a little bit overcooked.
Yeah, I got it.
And
I lost track of where I was.
That happens sometimes. So that's, all of these things sort of...
Sure.
But like for the most part, it's always very good.
Yeah.
And you're a little bit more modest. Like you don't come out and say like, I'm the best.
Sure, I just know it.
You just, that's confidence right there. But the raucousness of this, your barbecue has made it into the episode. That's what...
Right. So mine's a little bit more drinky and a little bit more, whatever. And I have rules, it's like, which we do in the thing, coolers by the grill.
Why is that?
Perhaps you are not familiar with the feng shui of a backyard barbecue party.
It's feng shui, but go ahead.
The grill man puts the cooler by the grill so that people come to him for a drink. That way he can visit with everyone while he does his job.
So that's part of that. No glass.
No glass by the pool.
No glass at the pool, right?
Everyone knows you don't bring glass to a pool party, Proby. That's a big no-no never.
And then it's my music. I play the music.
And it's all like, it's the same.
It's classic guitar rock.
Every year, it's like Molly Hatchet, 38 Special, The Fabulous. I mean, look, they're all good songs.
It's all good stuff.
I like hearing Flirtin' with Disaster by Molly Hatchet.
I think you're exaggerating, but yes.
A lot of CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
A lot of Creedence.
I mean, look, there's a lot of stuff. But then on the flip side, like when I have my pool parties.
Right, you might throw some hip hop in.
You throw hip hop in?
No, you might.
I might throw some hip hop in. This year, I threw some squeeze in, and I heard you. And he complains, It's like I'm probably the only person. I've got PTSD about my pool mix. I'm putting it on. I'm like, will Kevin like this? Like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm putting on Pulling Muscles from Michelle, and then I hear him complaining about it. He's like, you got squeeze on your. But what Kevin doesn't realize is that the barbecue's for everybody.
Yes,
there are some children. Like you have songs that your children like you put the Mighty Quinn on your mix.
My daughter's name's Quinn.
And Poke Salad Annie. You like that song?
I love that song.
Your wife likes that song.
No, I like that song.
Okay, but we have a little bit more of an eclectic mix. Like my wife likes like Pitbull, so you might hear Pitbull.
Right.
Like Don't Stop the Party.
Sure.
Or Fireball.
Sure. The 808. No, what is it? The 308.
Mr. 305.
Mr. 305.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pitbull.
The 305, bro.
Yeah, I got it.
So
I got you.
Anyway, but Kevin, this is exactly right. Kevin is very controlling about his barbecue.
Right.
Like it's very specific. And here's another nice thing, is that with Kevin's usually about 10 beers in.
When people show up?
You're usually about like 6 to 8 by the time people show up.
I ice it early, and that cold beer in the cooler.
Don't disagree. Can't disagree.
You can't not start drinking.
No,
it.
I know. You
cold
got to drink
cans of beer in the cooler.
So sucking them down, getting that bar tan going.
Yeah.
But by the time that the people are eating the food and complimenting you for the most part, except for this year's hamburgers, you're feeling pretty loose.
Yeah.
And once you start hearing the compliments enough, especially when like people are like a second on the seconds, and you realize you have succeeded at providing
you like the wings, huh?
People with quality barbecued meats.
Yes.
That's when you get horny. And that's when you start to PDA with your wife, who you normally don't PDA with at all.
And if you compliment his chicken enough, he starts to PDA with Vicky.
Yeah, that part's weird for me.
Okay.
We've covered this recently with.
We have. I know that's a theory. I don't know how accurate the theory is.
But it's and then you get that horny bird kiss on your, like, you'll bring your wife in close, and she's usually a few beers deep at this point too.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to have it.
No, she doesn't want, but she knows that she's got to give it
now
up.
Get the condiments out.
That's her.
No, me.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
And your condiments are a big thing there, but this is when you start to PDA and like.
And we did this in the episode, which is one of my favorite moments, because Heather, who we talked about a couple episodes ago, sells it.
Hey, Vicky! Vic! Vic, I'm at the table!
I'm right here, honey.
Oh, hey, Vicky! Hey, where's your chicken?
No, you know
Where's
what?
your chicken?
I want to get my plate
Give me a
first,
kiss.
right? No,
Give
no,
me
no,
just-
honey, I'm going to
Can
get
I
my
kiss
plate
cheek?
first. No,
Good
I don't
cheek.
want any kisses.
Beer barbecue is an aphrodisiac for my dad.
Like I felt in real life, Heather didn't want me near her. In real life.
Yeah, no,
But
I
that's
mean,
Yale Drama School for you.
right, because you're acting shit-faced
Right.
and coming to get that
Trying
like,
to get a kiss.
wet kiss.
Yeah. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Huh?
Yeah.
So discover your options at bluechew.com. Chew it and do it.
I love that tagline.
Chew it and do it, baby.
Chew it and do it. It's like, turn it and burn it, but this is like chew it and do it. That's a call to action.
It's true. And we have a special deal for our listeners.
That's right. You go to bluechew.com and enter the promo code Talkoma, Talkoma. Talkoma, and you will get the first month free. You just pay $5 for shipping. But bluechew.com, promo code Talkoma, Talkoma. The first month of Blue Chew's chewable tablets come free. And you know what they do for you?
What?
They make you better in bed.
Really?
Yeah.
And you get that for free?
You get that for free for the first month with our promo code Talkoma, Talkoma.
Everybody loves making love, right?
They really do. You know why they call it making love?
Why?
Because love is made at bluechew.com. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. All right, I've got a question for you.
Yeah. Welcome to 2024.
Welcome to 2024. Are there things about yourself that you would like to improve?
Always.
Meaning, are there things that you are already crushing that maybe you can take to the next level?
Yeah.
Like sometimes around the beginning of a new year, people are like, well, what can I do that's new? Like new year, new you. That's not the message here. The message here is let's take things that we're kicking ass at and go even further with those
things. And so BetterHelp helps you do that.
It's a form of therapy. So if you're considering
online therapy.
If you're considering therapy, BetterHelp is totally online. It's convenient. It's flexible to suit your schedule. And what you do is you go to betterhelp.com, you fill out a questionnaire, and they will link you up with a licensed therapist. And at any time you want to switch therapists, you can do that there too.
That's great. So we're all making progress in life. Mm-hmm. This helps you celebrate the progress that you have already made.
Right.
Right? Okay. So you go to betterhelp.com/Talkoma, Talkoma. You put that in, you get 10% off the first month, right? BetterHelp.com, that's HELP /Talkoma, Talkoma, 10% off the first month of online therapy. Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. So it's not new year, new you. It's new year, better you. Wow.
Hej, hur mår du? Jag är bra, tack så mycket. Jag heter Steve. Hey, snygga brillor. Okay, what language am I speaking? What did I just say? I was speaking Swedish. I said, hi, how you doing? I'm doing well. My name is Steve, cool sunglasses. Now here's the thing. If you want to learn a language, the best way to do that is by immersion, living in a place where the language is spoken. But since nobody really gets to do that, the next best way is with Babel. Okay? Babel has their own theme song. It's my favorite sound in the world because that sound is the sound of learning. That's right. With Babel, for just 10 minutes a day, you could be speaking a new language in 3 weeks. And if you can do that in 3 weeks, just imagine what you could do in a whole year. Okay? So if like 1 in 5 people learning a new language is on your bucket list for 2024, Babel is the place to go. Okay? Because for just 10 minutes a day in 3 weeks, you can be learning practical stuff like asking for directions, ordering food off a menu, asking for help, how much does something cost, and you don't have to use one of those clumsy language apps. So we have a special deal for our listeners, okay? You listen to Talkoma, you go to babbel.com/Talkoma, okay? That is BABBEL.com/Talkoma, Talkoma. And you'll receive 55% off of your Babel subscription. That's for our listeners only. So 55% off. Go to babbel.com/Talkoma. Okay. Rules and restrictions apply. Now, studies by Yale, University of Michigan have shown that 15 hours of Babel is the equivalent of an entire semester at a college. What does that say to me? Well, one of two things. Either that college is a waste of time, or that Babel is just as good as going to a college. I prefer that. So go to babbel.com/Talkoma. 55% off your subscription to Babel. You will be learning Swedish in 3 weeks, or Spanish, or Italian, or Russian, or Chinese. It doesn't matter. Any language you want. Okay. Developed by over 150 language experts, Babel is conversational, it's practical, and it's the way to go if you want to learn a new language. Tack så mycket. Hej då!
You love these holidays. You love Christmas, but you love Memorial Day. You love July 4th. You love these holidays.
Yes.
Labor Day, the
I do.
summer.
I do.
Stuff. I remember like one of my favorite memories of you. It's probably like my second July 4th barbecue. Is we sat down and
At
watched
my parents' house.
At your parents' house.
Yeah.
We sat down and watched the Yankees Old Timers game.
Oh, yeah, Old Timers game.
And it was the first time that Don Mattingly was back as an old timer since he had retired. And he's, a slightly...
Probably late 90s we're talking about.
Yeah, a slightly tragic Yankee figure. And
very tragic.
They won the World Series the year before he came.
Yeah.
And then they didn't win it his entire career.
Yeah, for 16 years or it was.
Until the season after he retired, and then they won
the
it
year
again.
after they won it again, yeah.
So this was Don Mattingly's, Donnie Baseball's first old timers game as a Yankee, and we're watching the game, and they introduce him, and I hear a sniffle.
Yeah.
And I turned and I looked over at Kevin Heffernan, and he was crying. And he looked at me and he said, "It's the one time a year I'm allowed to cry." And then took another pull on his Budweiser. I was like, "Hey, bro, I got no problems with that."
Do you remember though when you and I went to a Red Sox Yankees playoff game years later? I think this is like 2003 or 2004. And we were in the stadium, and then I think my wife called while we were sitting in the stadium, and she was like, "They just announced, you know who's throwing out the first pitch?" And I was like, "No, it's Don Mattingly." Like, holy shit. Remember that?
I do.
And so we were sitting there and we were watching, and they announced him. He came out, and right in the moment that they announced him, like it was a cop.
Yeah.
Who tapped me on the shoulder. He was like, who's this now? Who's coming out here? Like right in the most emotional moment, this fucking cop tapped me on the shoulder because he wanted to know who that guy was.
Right. And it happened in a flash.
Yeah.
You told him it's Don Mattingly. He's like, "Don Mattingly?" You're like, "Yeah, Don Mattingly's throwing out the first pitch," and turned back, and he had just done it.
Yeah.
We missed it because of this guy behind us.
Bullshit.
Anyway. All right. This episode.
Anyway. So it was a joy. We wanted to get out of the station, and we wanted to see everyone, in their civvies and out having a good time. And so we shot this barbecue. And it was great. We had a great time. My kids got in on it.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters, people who don't know this, so I have 3 daughters. Terry McConkey has 3 daughters.
Right.
And, obviously the oldest one is Lucy, who's the main character. And then over the course of the seasons, we've always had the other 2 daughters. And those are my real daughters, Kelsey and Quinn, my real daughters. And up in the first few seasons, they come in there, and the joke was they don't talk. They're just looking at their iPads all the time.
Right.
And that was, how you save money by not paying an actor, right? You make them actually.
Well, also, that's what kids do these days.
That's what kids do. But forever, they were like, "Can we have lines? We want to talk. We want to act. We want to talk." And so, so we said, "Yeah, okay. So this is the episode that you guys are going to talk." Yeah, there they are. There you go.
Oh.
Us on the set, eating wagon wheels, which was a big fun.
Apple slices with peanut butter.
And now, what we got to do was do some of this real life stuff where, they give me shit, and they do this in real life at these parties because they don't like me getting drunk.
Right.
They don't like to see dad drunk.
Your girls here have expressed some concern over every year you embarrassing them by drinking too much at the party.
Honey, a man can enjoy a few beers in the comfort of his own home.
Last year you woke up in the hedges when the sprinklers turned on.
What a loser.
Settle down.
Right. And dad is...
And that's the time dad gets drunk. He doesn't have to drive. He's in the comfort of his own home. He's having a good time. So dad has some beers.
He's entertaining people, but it's hot by the grill.
That's right.
And by the way, there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold beer out of the cooler.
You said it.
Memorial Day, July 4th, this is a person's right.
You said it.
This is a person's right.
That's what I say to them, but they don't like that. And so, we peppered that plot in here, and it was a true story thing where one of these events, it was actually Thanksgiving, which I also like to have a few drinks.
Yeah.
When I host Thanksgiving.
Right.
And
sometimes when you do that, you tend to neglect your parental duties.
Sometimes that happens.
I have a couple of Thanksgiving stories about you.
Okay. Well, you can sit on those. But anyway, one Thanksgiving, they made me sign a contract. Essentially said, you're not allowed to drink. And if you do drink, then you owe us $50 million.
Yeah.
And then, sign it, Dad, sign it. And then I signed it. And then I got fucking drunk. So I owe him $50 million.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this was a true life thing. I signed this contract. And so we thought we would write this in here where my daughters get upset that I get drunk at these parties. And so we're going to sign this contract, and that's a runner throughout, and it allows my daughters to have some lines and be throughout the episode.
We took the liberty of drawing up a contract.
What contract? What are you talking about?
I, Terry McConkey, agreed not to get sloppy drunk today. If I do, I will sleep in the garden shed for a week as punishment. Please sign on the dotted line.
I'm not signing anything.
Sign it!
Now, yeah, and so as the director, I opted to present them as kind of like the twins in The Shining.
Yes.
There are several times where you just
which
turn
they
and
loved,
look.
and we watched The Shining in preparation.
Right.
We watched The Shining to see them as the twins in The Shining.
And then you would just turn and there they are.
There they are.
Watching
Boom.
you drink with your and one of the things that I also did, which I really enjoyed, anytime I've had you drinking beer or really anything in Tacoma FD, I always make you take those ridiculously long pulls.
All right.
Tear.
But then, multiply that by like 10 takes.
And then there you are.
And
You're
I'm fucking full.
drinking pomegranate juice. And
drinking pomegranate juice or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
There was something, they had something like, I think it was like seltzer or something, was in a lot of those cans.
What was it? One of the first can had like a soapy water in it.
Well, because what happens is they put the label on, they put a, we don't get sponsors, especially when you get drunk. The real beer sponsors won't do it, which is why it was hard for us to get a sponsor for like Beer Fest, the movie Beer Fest.
Right.
Because nobody wants to see you drinking irresponsibly. And so if you're going to get drunk, you're not going to get a sponsor.
They pull out.
And so you have to create your own beers, which are fun, whatever. I think ours was a colonial beer.
It's like
or something.
American colonial.
Yeah, American
or something.
colonial.
It's supposed to be
or some shit
Budweiser.
like that. Yeah. And so anyway, so they have to put these labels on it, and what they'll do is they'll glue a label onto a can of seltzer or whatever it is, And so the first couple of my drink, and it was all glue, like it was the taste of glue.
Yeah, it was.
Which I was like, can I get one that doesn't taste like glue, please?
Yeah.
And then I'm an actor.
But then that alternative isn't good either.
No.
It's because also like, you're not a seltzer guy.
I am not a seltzer guy.
And so there you are, like, because ultimately what we also want is that sound effect of the can opening.
Right,
We
so
want
you
the
need
bubbles.
carbonation.
We want you to burp a lot.
Yeah.
Burp and so we have seltzer in there, but like, and your ability as an actor, like I've been seeing your acting skills lately, but you're also an excellent food and drink actor.
Oh, thank you.
You're an excellent food and
thank you
and drink actor. I refer you to my kids and I watched Rise of the Machines.
Okay.
A few weeks ago.
Episode 206.
When you're trying all the or is it 306?
I can't remember.
Yeah, when you're trying all the food from Snackathon and like
306.
The pretzels and sweet tea and like you're an excellent food actor.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, there's a lot of it in here. I mean, I wrote this down to credit these props guys, the props folks who we put a lot of burden on because we end up having a lot of food and whatever. And they had to do an incredible job preparing this stuff. I mean, when you cut to that, we had to cook the chicken all the way, and then you cut to that tray of the burnt chicken.
Yeah.
They just did a fantastic job prepping all this food stuff.
Yeah, and so it's like each season we've gotten more and more into
Tom
food
Bree
stuff.
And his team.
Yeah, and his team. And that's because like around season 2, it was that restaurant episode with Joey Pants. They realized that the food was an issue.
Yeah.
Like it caused them a great deal of stress. And so in season 3, we started having a dedicated chef to prepare all the stuff. And in this case, the chef was having to prepare a lot of chicken.
Yeah.
And it was breaking her heart to have
it's breaking my heart.
To overcook it.
Yeah, it's breaking my heart. It looks so good.
Breaking my heart because it was
breaking my heart.
Fat breasts of
Big
chicken.
Fat breasts of chicken. They look delicious.
And we overcooked. But they also still had to be okay to eat.
Yes.
Because Mickleberry was going to have to eat the chicken for everybody.
That's right. And so despite the fact that it got the shit burned out of it, which is very funny, he had to eat that chicken.
Exactly. Which he did.
Too bad for him. He did a great job, that kid.
Oh, he did. That kid, Chris Avila.
That kid, Chris, that young fella?
Yeah.
He did a fantastic job in that episode. I mean, he's harried and put upon and running around. He's driving that episode.
The episode is about him.
Yeah, running from place to place. And I think he does a fantastic job in that episode. They're throwing fireworks at him.
Fireworks. His mom's there.
His mom's there. She was fantastic.
Andrea de Oliveira.
Yeah.
And of course, for his troubles. What does he get?
He gets Eddie Panisi sleeping with his mom.
Cat.
Why do you do you orchestrate this where you just sleep with the beautiful women in the set? Is that what happens here?
I mean, isn't that why we got into Hollywood in the first place?
I guess so.
I don't know.
I guess so. She was lovely and she was fantastic, and she came into this episode with us, and
I think,
and it's written that I think it was a little more lascivious at some point, the script, right? And we toned it down a little bit, like where you're like, he sees you having sex with her.
We saw them having sex.
Right.
Lucy and Granny and Ike looked up and actually saw them inside the house.
Right.
Like there were a number of variants. Like at one point, it was like you saw Eddie with 2 legs sticking up.
Right. Giving her COVID.
Yeah, getting people ill. But yeah, but this was like, it's funny because like people, you know, they're like, are you gonna have any arcs and any season long? Like the network is always like, okay, well, these are standalone episodes,
Sure, yeah,
but
yeah.
if you want to
A little
consider
runner or something, yeah.
a season long arc
Mhm.
to track a story, and in season 3 it's always bullshit. In season 3 it was that we introduce your chair,
Right.
that you had farted
The
on
fart chair.
so many times. And we paid
Juvenile.
it. We paid it off in the end. It had collected so much methane gas
Yeah.
that's the thing that ignites and blows up the station.
Right. Right.
That's our season-long arc. In this season, it's Mickleberry's mom.
Yeah.
We introduce her in the Spectre of her in
8,
episode 402,
Okay, you're right. You're right.
where Mickleberry's on the phone with her.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
And then in this episode, we meet her and she's sweet, and then
Delightful.
Eddie puts his disgusting paws on her, and she allows Eddie to sully her.
Right.
And then in episode 10.
We reference it again.
We reference her again,
Yeah.
and we kind of, we let the cat out of the bag for
Sure.
Mickleberry.
Let me ask this question.
Yes.
As a guy who's directing and also doing the kind of hooking up stuff, is that weird?
That's tough because, like, I had to do that also when we did the firefighters' ball, when we had the baggage handler.
And
with
Joanna Cassidy, did you direct that?
I didn't direct
no,
that
LP
episode.
directed that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But in the firefighters' ball, we had the baggage handler with the arm.
Yeah.
And I had to make out with her.
Right. Oh boy.
It's a little creepy
bummer.
to be the director and making out. They're gonna be like,
That's the thing.
I think we got to put a little more effort in.
Let's
like,
go. You mind? I'm going to give you some more tongue.
Yeah. Let's do. You know what? Let's. First of all, I think your shirt should be off like this. It's like you
Yeah.
don't want to.
Yeah, it's gross.
So like.
Gross.
So actually, in those cases, I defer to you.
That's true.
And look, you're a little uncomfortable shooting these scenes in the first place.
And I'm
anyway.
a very chaste person anyway. So.
But so for those, you're down there.
Yeah.
Shouting stuff up to
Kiss
us.
her.
Lemmy. So after you kiss her and before you walk in, throw in like give me something to camera. You know what I mean? Yes. A little something to camera, but you don't have to make eye contact with these guys, but just like that look. Okay. Like that look. Okay. All right. Let's go.
You want the deep breath after we kiss or before we kiss?
I want your deep breath, like right before you throw that cocky look, like
Okay.
cocky look, and then you walk in. Okay.
But I let you do it. That way it's not coming from me. Like, it should be like, rough up my hair a little bit more.
Right.
Or like, and also you can see what I can't, which is like, you have to open up to the camera,
Can't
whatever it
see
is.
this But she, well, I thought she was delightful.
She was fantastic.
And she did a fantastic job, and she was a good sport.
Yeah.
She was game for anything. And it was fun. It was fun to see Mickleberry's mom, I thought.
Yeah, Mickleberry's mom.
The other thing, which I like and I want to talk about, is the subplot. The towel subplot.
Yeah.
Which is also a very fun plot to me. It's, everybody's got to be doing something, right? So this is the Gabe and Marcus subplot, is them trying to get the nice towels.
The fat towels.
Look, do us a favor. Terry's watching us like a hawk. I need you to go inside and grab some of those fat, juicy, soft towels.
Chief said use the outside towels.
No, man. Outside towels.
We're not gonna use those thin-ass, stupid outside towels, okay? They're embarrassing. We want the nice, soft, plush inside towels.
And, I'm one of those guys who, where I'm the bathroom towels are the bathroom towels and the pool towels are the pool towels. I'm one of those guys.
Right.
No question about that. But the genesis of this story was more of a true thing.
Yeah.
Of your childhood.
Yeah.
Which Gabe actually tells the story in his emotional monologue.
Yeah.
Of what was your true story.
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up poor in Little Belgium, okay? All I had was thin towels my entire life. I go to my rich friends' houses, see their stacks and stacks of beautiful plush towels. I try them on when no one's looking, wrap it around my head, pretend I was a fancy lady. It felt great. I'm not using thin towels again. It's plush towels, okay?
So, people may or may not know, my mom was a Spanish teacher at a very elite private school in New York City. And so
So you were a townie.
So I was a townie. I was
in New York City, on the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
With the Rubenstein twins.
Yeah, with the 84th Street gang. It's tough.
With the Winklevoss kids.
Right. But so I better not see anybody laughing in there. I'm not fucking kidding.
They were tough. I'm telling you, they were tough.
They were tough, dude.
They were tough.
My friend, wait till my rich friends come out here and tell you how tough they were. But so no, I went to the school and I was one of the kids there who didn't have all the money, and I was a faculty kid.
Right.
And so, it's not that we were impoverished or anything. But,
No.
But like, I felt that way. And one of the ways
I mean, you were going to school with very wealthy people. I mean, this is New York City, Upper East Side bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great opportunity.
CEOs.
The children of CEOs.
Statesmen.
The celebrities.
Celebs.
Yeah. The whole thing.
I get it, bro.
The whole thing.
I get it. Man.
Wealthy people.
I get it.
And then there was...
And then you.
There was us.
Poor you.
An immigrant family.
Yeah.
From Argentina.
Yeah, exactly.
And Puerto Rico.
Yep. Didn't have shoes to wear to
school.
So
no, but what it was that like we had like a set of towels. Like I had one towel. I had a Snoopy towel.
In your household.
I had a Snoopy towel.
Right.
Which doesn't, I think it makes it into the episode.
Okay.
And it was worn out.
Yeah.
It was Snoopy. My sister had Woodstock.
Okay.
And like we had a little set.
Right.
But these towels were worn out, and that was it. I remember like in high school we got a set of towels that said Lemme on them.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit, we got a new fucking set of towels.
We made it.
Yeah. This is welcome to America. We finally got personalized towels. But I would go to my friends' houses.
Right.
And I would, like, if I was sleeping over or like had to take a shower or something, I'd open up their linen closets, and there were these stacks and stacks of fat plush towels.
Soft.
Oh my! But the thickest, and like in their
expensive,
in their country homes or in their regular city homes, and it was like
unlimited towels,
stacked to the ceiling.
Right, plush fat towels.
Towels that are never going to be in use. There's so many towels.
Sure, that's why if you just took one, no one would miss it.
But that was the thing. Even like I'd go to girlfriends' houses.
Right.
And be like, and I'd be embarrassed to bring people over to my house. Like, no one was taking a shower at my house.
Right.
We're going to give them my fucking Snoopy towel.
Well, but also they'd open the closet and see all the towels you stole from their house.
Right.
Like, these look like my towels.
Yeah. Wait, oh my God. You've got Bergdorf Goodman towels too?
And why is my name engraved on it?
Yeah. Huh.
That's weird.
So anyway, this was a very personal thing for me. Like, and when I was a kid, I was like, one day I'm going to have a closet full of fat towels.
Yeah. One day when you've made it.
Right. And you and I have been trying to get the fat towels.
I love the story. I love you yearning for fat towels, as a symbol of acceptance in society. And I love it.
Well, and that was the thing. It's like after we made this episode, like they went out and got the fattest towels.
Right. Because those guys go around getting the fat towels.
Yeah. Here, I
oh boy, you got it. We got a prop, guys.
So like I like to steal my clothes.
I know it.
You
took the towels?
I also took the fat towels.
I mean, you can buy towels now.
No, but these things. But it's like. When they're
Jesus, are you kidding me? You stole this from the prop department.
Like, feel how heavy this towel is.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so heavy. It's almost too heavy.
But like, so this towel, it's funny because like this is like, I understand now what they went out and did was like they got the towel that like LeBron gets.
What do you mean? Like in his house?
Well, like he's like what, like 6'10" or 6'8" or something like that.
Right.
Like that's what I realized this towel is.
Those
like,
are bath sheets.
Yeah, like
they call them.
Is that like the extra large?
Yeah, the really big towels. They call them bath sheets.
Yeah, like
because it's bigger than a towel.
Yeah, and he's not using the towel I use.
10 pounds.
Yeah, that thing is so heavy. Like my wife, when I got them, she was like, "Ooh," and she like got out of the shower and tried to wrap it around her head.
She tipped over.
Well, it like was pulling her head over. It's so heavy. And
this towel's so fucking heavy.
Well, because there are like aside from indoor towels and outdoor towels, what we found out is towels are a very polarizing thing. There are some people who prefer a thin towel.
Yes, my mom prefers a thin towel
because they think that these fat towels are too cumbersome.
Yeah, and too thick,
too heavy, like too hot.
Yeah,
and they want a lighter towel.
Yeah,
and I'm not one of those people.
My mom is one of those people.
Yeah,
like we have some fat towels when she comes to our house, and she'll put those back and take like a beach towel.
Yeah.
Because she likes a thinner towel.
Yeah, and I can't understand that. That's what, like, and your mom and I see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Sure.
But not on
the towel
the
situation.
towel subject.
Right.
And so, yeah.
And so you have all those towels at your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this isn't the one I used today, but like, my wife is like, "Where are you going with that towel?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm doing a podcast."
I'm gonna tell my towel story.
I'm doing the
Oh Jesus, the towel story again?
Yeah. Oh shit, not this again.
Yeah.
Motherfucker can't even put that on my motherfucking head. Because my wife is Cuban from Miami, and that's how she speaks, and that's okay. So that's the towel. That's the story.
Okay, but let me, aside from stealing the towels from production, have you ever bought? I mean, did you make it to the point where you bought fat towels to the ceiling for your house?
Yeah, but not enough for my taste, frankly.
Really? Why? I mean, you can.
Well,
now you can just like hit a button and they can send them to your house.
No, I know, but like my wife also kind of grew up the same way I did. Her mom was a teacher,
right,
in a school, and so like she's just more frugal.
Okay, but she didn't aspire to fat towel.
No, and in fact, but even now, it's like when I'm like, oh, we're having people over, it's a funny character quirk of hers.
Right.
She's like, how many people? And I'm like, it's probably gonna be about 30 people. She's like, okay, so let's see, 5 wings per person. Okay, so I'll get 30 people. Okay, I'll get 150 wings. I'm like, no, you can't try to. It's like when you try to calculate how long it's going to take you to get to the airport,
right?
And then you're slamming the steering wheel, and you're late. Then,
right?
Like you can't. You don't want to make it just an exact amount of wings per people. Like you want to have a little bit more than enough. But my wife is still frugal, so if I'm like, let's get some more towels, she'll be like, what you want, like a set of like 4.
You're like 20.
Yeah, I'm like, fucking load it up.
I want to the ceiling,
floor to ceiling,
right?
And I want like just some like washcloth. I'm like, no, the whole fucking set.
Bath sheets. I get it.
So pissed off suddenly.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Anyway, but this was a beautiful moment because we've been trying to tell this story, and those guys did a great job. It's like Gabe does tell my exact story.
Tells the exact story,
and then Granny has the story in the military.
In the military, they made us use thin towels. Thin towels. And I swore when I got out, I'd never use a thin towel again. Thin towels remind me of being in the shit, man. So come on, help us out.
He's gonna do it. Yeah, you're gonna do it, right?
And in the middle of it, when we're on Mickleberry, we have one of my favorite shots, which is you in the background cracking a beer.
It felt great. I'm not using thin towels again.
And you can see the spray from the beer can. I insisted on that shot being in the background.
Well, also when we were in the sound mix, you insisted on hearing the crack of that can opening.
Yeah.
Even though it's like way in the distance,
But I'm a big believer in background humor.
Sure.
And I love background jokes. Sure. And that to me, still from a directorial standpoint, tells the story of what's going on without being like these guys, because Terry is a presence. They're talking about
Terry is getting progressively drunk over the course of that episode.
And in that,
which is difficult to do.
You're in the background. We see you crack another beer and start drinking. And you're standing in the background and you're snapping your tongues at everyone.
Yeah.
It paints a full picture.
You're right.
In the background.
You're right.
But I'm glad we finally got to tell the fat towel
I
story.
love that. And it was a lot of back and forth about I was going to get to the episode and how to play it right. And every writer in the writer's room had a different opinion of how it should go. And it ended up working out really well, I think.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Kev.
Yeah.
Do you have a doorstadning for me?
Oh, fuck. Oh, I got a doorstadning.
Okay.
Now that you bring it up.
Okay.
Remember when I was over your house and you had this whole fucking elaborate plot of how you were going to harvest the olives on your olive tree?
It's going to be good.
You had this whole thing about how you're going to harvest. You have all these olive trees in your backyard and they're full of olives. And all of a sudden, your mind's going like how you're going to make money off it. And so you were going to harvest all these olives.
Yeah.
And the way you were going to do it was you were going to use the children of all your friends, the teenage children of all your friends.
And younger.
Yeah, to work and harvest the olives.
Yeah.
Like fucking Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
And you're going to harvest these olives and then you were going to can them and sell them.
Yeah, jar them.
Right, and jar them.
And give the kids a cut.
Maybe. I was like, you got to give the kids a cut. And you balked on that. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll give the kids a cut.
No.
You weren't going to do it. You were Fagin in the fucking Oliver Twist thing where you were just going to, make money off of these
child labor,
these
bro.
child laborers. And so anyway, you laid out that whole plan. I went home and we were sitting around the dinner table and I pitched my kids they fucking laughed their asses off at how dumb that idea was.
Well, because
like, we would never
have
over there
a job because you've never fucking made them get a summer job.
We would never be used as child labor for Steve Lemme's olive scheme. Well, the beauty was you're like, I'm going to get some jars. I'm going to can them, and I'm going to bring them to the local farmer's market. Sell them.
Yeah.
But this is like the fucking guitar story is what it is. But this is like Owen Meany is what it
and
is.
everybody's laughing like you.
That's right.
At my so what's your dostadning? To apologize?
That we had a really good laugh at your expense.
That's not a dostadning.
And I apologize for that.
Oh, fuck you. That's not a dostadning.
It's not?
No, that's not a dostadning.
Okay.
That's just you saying you.
I apologize.
A dostadning.
I apologize. We had a good laugh at your expense.
Should be. I apologize. We've been mocking you behind your back, and I wanted.
That's what it is. Your olive harvesting plan.
Let me tell you.
We had a good laugh about it.
Well, the funny thing is yes, it's like the royal we, like, hey, we're gonna do this, and what you really mean is like, you are gonna do it. And I was explaining to somebody today. I was like, a lot when somebody just says that, all you have to do is just say okay, and then just walk away.
That's what I do now.
Right.
As in my older years, I'm like, okay, great, cool.
Yeah. To me. You do that when I'm like, we should do some TikTok videos. You're like,
yeah, I'm into it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But actually, first, what you say is like, you're like, Steve, that's going to take a lot of work. And I'm like, I know. And what you're saying is we both will have to do a lot of work. And I'm like, I know.
Sure.
Even though I definitely intend to not do it, which is the thing about the olives.
Yeah.
So last year, my wife, we took some off the tree. My wife brined the olives.
Right.
And they were incredible, fresh, beautiful olives. So first I had Phil Hudson check on getting me a license for the farmer's market, which he did.
Right.
And then I went down, my contribution was I went down and I counted all the olive trees I had.
Yeah.
And I had my wife price some jars of olives while she was at the Ralph's.
Sure.
And I was like, there's like fucking $50 a branch here. Like if you had a tree that sprouted $50 bills, you'd pick them.
Sure.
You'd pick every single bill off that tree.
Yes.
Okay.
You wouldn't have to brine them and jar them and sell them at a fucking farmer's market.
What I'm saying is there's a wonderful opportunity for the children here. And I would provide the nets. And all the kids have to do is spread out the nets under the trees and shake the branches.
Right.
And the olives will fall, and that's all I want them to do.
Oh, it's so easy. Why don't you just do it?
I will. I'm going to.
And there is the rub.
Well, because it's so much better.
It's not easy, and you don't want to do it.
It's so much better to sit inside and drink lemonade.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Anyway, I want you to go home and come up with a better dostadning than
so that's
that.
not good enough?
No, to laugh at me? No. Next week, you should apologize for your poor excuse of a dostadning.
Great. You want to look at a gag reel?
I would love to watch a gag reel.
Okay. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. You got these size in your back pocket? Huh? These? Yeah, I did. I didn't know if you meant like this week's. Okay.
Okay, ready? And action!
Fucking acting is really hard, man.
That's a fucking terrible one.
No. I'm trying to figure out. I'm more of a right side double take guy, just so you guys know.
No.
Buddy.
No. Wait, come on. You look, you don't see anything, and then.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Definitely a better right-handed guy.
Oh, God, every time you practice it, you nail it. Look under that flower pot.
I don't know how to brew. Clearly. I don't know how to brew, clearly.
Okay, cut.
We're sorry, Proby. I know the party wasn't what you'd hoped it'd be. We're sorry, Proby. I know that party wasn't...
That party.
We're sorry, Proby. I know the party wasn't what you'd hoped it'd be.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry, you made a face.
Here we go.
First one, just glare at him.
Amateur hour over here.
And cut.
Chicken's almost ready!
Oh, God damn it, Heffernan.
Sorry, it's not your fault. No, I'm sorry. I should know better.
All right.
And cut. All right. Thank you, everybody. That's a wrap. Oh, man.
Huh? There's some good stuff in there.
A couple of things. I forgot how bad you were at doing double takes.
Well, no, it was I don't know. I got it in my head and I got the yips or something because I'm a good double take guy.
See,
I'm good at it.
But that was the thing is when we'd practice, when you'd practice it, you were nailing it,
right?
But it wasn't during the take, and then when it came to the take, you couldn't do it.
I know, but I think literally, I have a hard time going left-handed double.
You're like Zoolander.
Yeah,
he can only turn to the right.
Yeah,
right?
I think double take right, I'm great. Double take left, not so good.
Yeah,
and so I think that was part of my problem there. Couldn't get it right.
And then the other thing is watching that, I forgot that Heather Mazer did not know how to use a broom.
Hysterical. I don't know what. I mean, it's not like she's some highfalutin person, you know. She's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they sweep.
But she had no idea how to use a broom. And I love it. She didn't call it sweeping. She called it brooming. And but she did not hold it. And we had to move her hands so she knew how to hold it.
Yeah, and then she broke it. And like it was
like her husband does the sweeping in there.
I think that was the joke we were making.
It's fucking funny.
All right, you guys. Next week, the episode, what's it called?
It's 409. Next week is the Firefighter's Wake.
Firefighter's Wake.
Which was Cousin Bill had a lot to do with that one, too.
Oh, man.
Great.
I got an excellent prop in the mail today yesterday that I can't wait to show in next week's episode. From Cousin Bill.
Oh, boy, I don't know what it is.
For real?
Yeah. Don't tell me.
Oh, okay. I won't tell you.
Should we have Cousin Bill on that episode?
Yeah.
So that's the next episode. Tacoma 409, the Firefighter's Wake. See you, everybody.